Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines overnight, the latest on this 18-wheeler crash that left tons of sod all over parts of Loop 410 early this morning.
All 50 states have begun the process of easing restrictions, but they're not all going about it the same way. I'm Alex Bechet in Washington with details about the roadmap to reopening.
And taking a look outside with live cam, boy, it was another scorcher yesterday. Rain is in the forecast. We'll check in with Mike and get some details.
It's Thursday, the 21st. Did the storms wake you up overnight?
Not even.
This time, I heard them, Mike.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I saw lightning south of the city driving into work this morning.
Wow.
And that cell is continuing to die down. But these were the ones we were talking about yesterday at this time. They were born way out west, and they decided to hold together overnight. We may have to have the same situation again overnight tomorrow morning. But right now, as far as rain, there were a couple of damp spots on the roads, and some folks picked up a whole lot more. But yeah, up to the north, northern Bexar County and up around Comal County, there were some very big cells in the overnight hours. Looks like 410, maybe a few wet spots there. And as far as rain, as you can see, the majority of it obviously is well down to the west and to the southwest, and that's all working its way to the east. This one leftover cell just to the east of Pearsall, that was really starting to raise its head there, and to rear its head, I should say, but now it does appear to be sort of dying down. Obviously, a few leftover lightning strikes associated with that. And then in and around town, yeah, all of a sudden this morning, the wind started shifting around. Looked outside, it's like, well, no, it wasn't raining, but there were a few wet spots here and there as we had some of these scattered showers move on through. There may be one or two scattered showers around the area later on today. Once again, we are about 6-7 degrees above normal. A lot of humidity out there as well. Mold did drop down from the previous day's reading. 83 at noon. It won't be as hot today. They're 90 for a high temperature, closer to normal. A couple of scattered showers around here, just one or two trying to pop up. But once again, we'll watch some storms developing out to the west in the overnight hours, and then we talk about the weekend. Details on that coming up. But there's going to be some rain around this weekend. Details in just a few minutes. Time saver traffic right now. Here's Officer Nick Solis. Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, Mike. Yeah, just like Mike said, roadways are a little slick out there. Please be careful. Wear your seatbelt. We want everyone to get to work safely. Okay, currently working on one accident right now. Now, this accident is involving an 18-wheeler. It's a jackknife 18-wheeler on the median of northbound Southeast Loop 410 at Rigsby Avenue. Now, when this 18-wheeler crashed, it dumped approximately 28 tons of sod. Yes, 28 tons of sod. That is a lot. We're still seeing some of the results of this accident right now as the northbound lanes are shut down from Rigsby to Houston. Hopefully that's cleared up very soon as a King Kong wrecker is on scene, but that accident's still active now. Now let's take a look at the trans guide. Things are looking good all around the city. 10 West and 1604 looking great there. But we do have some construction on I-10 and Bernie Stage westbound going towards Bernie. Keep that in mind if you're heading that way. Mark, Leslie, back to you.
Thank you very much, Nick. New this morning, San Antonio, New Braunfels continue to be some of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. according to the 2020 census. Sarah Acosta joins us live from home to break down those numbers.
Good morning, Leslie. San Antonio ranked number 3 among 15 cities with the largest numeric increase from April 1st, 2010 to July 1st, 2019. The Alamo City added, get this, 221,092 residents in the last decade to finish 2019 with a total population of 1,547,253 people. Now, 4 other Texas cities also made that list. That includes Houston, Austin, Fort Worth, and Dallas. Cities in Texas are among those that have added the most people this decade. Now take a look at these breakdowns. The largest population gains from July 1st of 2018 to July 1st of 2019. More people moved to San Antonio than Austin and Fort Worth between July 1st and July of 2018 and 2019. San Antonio had 17,000 people move here. Austin had 16,439 and Fort Worth had 16,369. Now, the most popular cities populous cities, San Antonio still sits at the 7th largest city with a population of 1.5 million, but Phoenix is now the 5th largest city with 1.6 million people. Philadelphia was pushed down to the 6th largest city. That means San Antonio could pass Philadelphia if more people continue to move here. The only difference between people is less than 37,000. Now let's look at some of the fastest growing cities. Frisco, Texas has had a 71% population increase between April 1st of 2010 and July of 2019. New Braunfels came in 3rd place with a 56.4% increase. In 4th place was McKinney with a 51% increase. Now, if you head to KSAT.com right now, you can find a breakdown of all of those latest numbers from the Census Bureau. Reporting live from home, I'm Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News. Mark and Leslie.
Thank you, Sarah. Here's a look at some of the latest COVID-19 numbers in our area. This morning, Bexar County's cases up to 2,322. The death toll increased by 1 for a total of 63. 1,095 people continue to fight the illness, with 82 in the hospital. 1,164 people have recovered. Meanwhile, the Uvalde Police Department quarantining several officers due to possible exposure to coronavirus. The department did not say exactly how many members that involves, but the test results are pending.
Well, the San Antonio Food Bank just released its COVID-19 crisis impact report. The nonprofit says its distribution numbers doubled over the last 9 weeks. The food bank distributed 17 million pounds of food through 16 counties. 26,000 hours were served by volunteers. Organizers say seeing families line up at the Traders Village flea market on April 9th really emphasized the need in our community. CEO Eric Cooper says as people do go back to work, it's hard to know what the need will be, but he says they will be ready to serve.
We're now, coming to where the cities are opening and the economy might be strengthened, but we don't know what the future is going to bring.
Federal aid to the food bank is just now starting to arrive.
Meanwhile, the entire country now moving back to some form of pre-pandemic life. All 50 states have now started to reopen.
ABC's Alex Prochet has more from Washington.
All 50 states now easing restrictions, some more quickly than others. In Michigan, these barbers on the state capitol lawn pushing for a faster reopening, offering free haircuts, many without face masks, some armed. Connecticut started reopening yesterday.
If you don't want to go back to work, don't go back to work. But don't deny the rest of us.
Allowing malls and retailers to open at 50% capacity. Restaurants measuring table distance for outdoor dining only. Casinos in Oklahoma back open for business. Customers betting big on new safety measures like mandatory face masks and temperature screenings. A tone of confidence set by Vice President Pence, seen here with Florida's governor in Orlando, eating a burger, neither wearing a mask, but temperature checks for staff and patrons here. New York's governor still urging residents to wear masks.
They are protective and they work. Wear a mask.
Each state moving ahead with its own plan as the CDC finally releases its detailed guidelines for reopening. Recommendations like sneeze guards in restaurants and bars. In schools, face coverings for staff and older students, but not for children under 2. A positive case could completely close a school for cleaning. But there's already restlessness. Leaders in Tulare County, California voted to allow businesses and churches to reopen, defying state health orders. Illinois State Rep Darren Bailey was removed from the chamber for refusing to comply with safety measures. Potential setbacks still a major concern. Just 24 hours after the big 3 automakers restarted production, Ford temporarily shutting down its plants in Chicago and Michigan after 3 returning workers tested positive. When you talk about business concerns, another part of that is the economy, right? More than 36 million Americans have filed for unemployment over the last 2 months. We're going to get another report this morning where that number is expected to grow. Alex Prochet, ABC News, Washington.
439, 73 degrees.
Just ahead on GMSA, the unofficial start of summer is almost here. That means many families are looking for a safe and fun getaway this Memorial Day weekend. We'll take a look at how many people you'll be sharing the roads with.
And up next, federal health officials now advising doctors to separate moms from their newborns if they suspect the babies might have coronavirus.
And taking it outside with live cam, Mike is tracking storms. He'll have an update coming up. Welcome back. Your time now, 4:42. In your morning headlines, police in Glendale, Arizona say a suspect is in custody after 3 people were shot last night at an entertainment district. Police say one victim is listed in critical condition. The 2 others had non-life-threatening injuries. The shooting was finished by the time officers arrived, and police challenged the suspect and were able to take that person into custody. The identity has not been released.
Centers for Disease Control Prevention is now advising doctors to test all newborns delivered to women with potential COVID-19 infections. CDC says doctors should assume exposed newborns have an infection. In response, they should be isolated from other healthy babies and temporarily separated from their mothers. CDC says babies are most likely exposed to the virus through respiratory droplets from their moms or other caregivers. CDC suggests testing in the first 24 hours after birth and again the next day if the results were negative.
Well, this morning, at least 14 people are dead and thousands of homes destroyed after a cyclone made landfall in eastern India yesterday. The head of the National Disaster Response Force says one area in West Bengal has been pulverized. Flash flooding is expected to continue in both India and Bangladesh. Authorities have been working to evacuate millions of people. The efforts, though, have been complicated by the coronavirus. Relief teams are trying to get people out safely while also keeping themselves healthy.
443, 73 degrees.
Still ahead, a new movie from Hollywood director Christopher Nolan is scheduled as the first major studio release to hit theaters when they open. But are fans really ready to go back to the movies?
The next front-loading washers seem to have a bad history of mold, but now one manufacturer says it's changing all of that with a brand new design.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the future of vacations. As Memorial Day, the unofficial start of summer, approaches, many families are wondering if it's safe to go on vacation. According to an April survey by the U.S. Travel Association, only 14% of travelers feel safe taking a domestic flight, and 17% feel safe at a hotel or resort.
I think logically, people will venture gingerly out and do local things before they get on an airplane. That's just the way it's going to be. So, yeah, local people will do local things.
GMA going one-on-one with travel expert Rick Steves about the changes we're already seeing going into this Memorial Day weekend. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll talk live to the CEO of Intercontinental Hotels Group, which runs chains like Holiday Inn, on how they're adjusting to the new normal and what it could mean for your next overnight stay. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
For 2 decades now, front-loading washing machines have been plagued by mold issues. There have been 5 class action lawsuits covering more than 11 million machines.
Manufacturers have made some changes, and now GE is out with a new machine that it says is designed to protect from mold and odors. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz takes a look.
Front loaders clean well, use less water, and are often gentler on clothes, but they're also known to have issues with stink and mold.
The problem with front loaders is that it's a closed system, so they may not dry out if you don't leave the door open, which you really can't do if you have young children. And we know that this can potentially create the kind of environment where mold and bacteria could thrive.
A new machine from GE with several design changes and something called Ultra Fresh Vent, which is supposed to eliminate excess moisture, claims to have the answer. So Consumer Reports put it to the test.
This was a limited test, but when we compared the data, our initial results did find that the feature, in fact, reduced humidity. But that alone is no real guarantee that mold or bacteria won't flourish in the machine.
Even though the GE machine did an excellent job in tests, it didn't meet CR's recommendation standards because of the brand's average reliability and poor owner satisfaction ratings. They say a better option is this LG for about $600. It's water and energy efficient. If you have a front loader, you can reduce moisture by drying the inside door and rubber gasket and opening the dispenser so they can dry out. It's also important to use the right amount of HE detergent. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's get an update now on that jackknifed 18-wheeler and all that sod all over the highway out there, 410 and Rigsby.
Nick, it sounds like a mess.
It was a mess, Leslie, but good news, that accident is now cleared up. The northbound lanes of Southeast Loop 410 from Rigsby to Houston is now all open. And that's good news for everybody there because there was a lot of sod on the roadway. All right, taking a look outside. There's construction here, 10 at Ralph Fair. This is going towards the westbound lanes of I-10, so towards Bernie. Looks like all lanes are shut down there, so you're probably going to take the exit lane and go all the way down until you hit Dominion Drive, because it's not looking good. Oh, this is past Dominion Drive, I'm sorry. This is on Ralph Fair, so just keep that in mind if you're heading that way. Let's take a look at other places in the city. 35 and Schwab Road looking good. 10 and Medical looking great. Very little cars on the roadway. And 410 at Calabria good, and 281 at Hildebrand looks even better.
Thank you very much, Nick. Waking up to some more showers and thunderstorms.
Yeah, it was, like I said, they were born out in the western part of the area last night, and they decided to hold together. And boy, there were some doozies out there. You said the thunder woke you up?
Oh, yeah. It was around 1 this morning.
I didn't hear a thing.
But see, we missed the last round overnight. We were both slept through that, so.
And we have more opportunities, it looks like.
Yeah. Yes, we will have another opportunity for this, I think, tonight. And then over the weekend, we're going to have some rain around here. Not only was there a pretty good light show and fairly noisy, but boy, it was coming down. Here's a rain gauge out in Sabinal. Basically 1.5 inches of rain in just 90 minutes. So that's coming down in buckets. We still do have some rain. Thank you for the KSAT Connect picture. It looks like 410 may be a bit damp. I just saw patches of damp spots on the roads coming into work, but some areas had a little bit more rain than others, obviously, so just watch it. Most all of it, is confined down to the west and to the southwest, and we have that one cell right there in northeastern Frio County, and that has pretty much all sort of dissolved. Now just the leftovers south of there, and we had those few, like I said, showers that moved on through town. There may be a leftover sprinkle here and there. Temperature 73 degrees, still about 5 or so above normal, some 60s in parts of the hill country, and still a lot of humidity, although these numbers are down a little bit compared to what they were yesterday. It's still going to be on the humid side, however. All right, here's the satellite radar picture, and as it loops back on through again, late last night, late yesterday, those storms were born out there to the west, and they continued to work their way on through and sort of split up into two different cells. But also notice right here how this one just starts to really spin up. So that's what happens. These become their own little small kind of mini weather systems, and that's why they live in the overnight hours, and then they tend to die down as some things change right around sunrise. So most all of this will continue to die down and then really sort of fizzle on out by the time the sun comes up. But then later on today, we've got the chance of rain chance for some more severe storms potentially out there to the west. Here's the computer model. Takes these leftover showers and just gets rid of them, and then later on this evening trying to get a few more, especially coming in here out of the hill country and working its way down to the south. So this will be something we have to watch out for tomorrow morning at this time, and then some more showers and thunderstorms moving on through here, and that'll be the case throughout the day. Then as we go into the weekend, we are going to have a bit of a disturbance setting up here, and that's going to give us rain chances. I don't think it's going to be a rain out this weekend, a washout, but there will be some heavy pockets as well. 83 today at noon. Couple of showers are possible, just some leftovers, and call it partly to mostly cloudy skies. Couple of showers, a few thunderstorms. 90, so we will be down compared to the past couple of days. Tomorrow, perhaps a little bit better chance for some rain. Temperatures still continue to decline going in through the weekend. And again, it won't be a washout. The better chances of rain are Sunday and Monday. We'll have some sunshine mixed in as well, but on one hand, it won't be a washout. On the other hand, there still can be a couple of heavier pockets of rain, and we'll still keep some rain around in the middle half of next week.
Boy, Memorial Day weekend, such a roll of the dice when it comes to nasty weather around here. There's been some years we've been hammered.
Yeah, and it's either 100 or it's rain. It seems
storming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Par for the course. 453, 73 degrees.
Up next, release the Snyder Cut. Something fans of the Justice League superhero movie have been saying for years. And guess what? It's happening. Details just ahead.
.456, the somewhat mythical version of DC's Justice League movie from a few years ago is getting a special re-release.
The latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Welcome to the afterlife. Christopher Nolan's Tenet, still scheduled to be the first major studio release to hit theaters when they reopen, possibly July. But a new poll shows right now, a whopping 70% of people would rather skip the theater and watch Tenet or any other new release on the couch. The numbers from Performance Research and Full Circle Research reported by Variety. Those who would rather go to the theater than stream at home, just 13%, with 17% not sure. Two people not going to theaters when they reopen, the Lovebirds stars Issa Rae and Kumail Nanjiani. I asked them if in July they'd be the first in line to get tickets.
I have faith in our economy and our industry that they'll get it together, but I won't be there.
I'm the same. I'm going to be one of the last people to go to a movie theater, a restaurant, anything. I'm going to be like, let's let everyone go out, see how it goes, and then I'll right behind you.
You can watch The Lovebirds on your couch on Netflix starting tomorrow. HBO Max and Warner Brothers releasing the Snyder Cut, the long-rumored cut of Justice League by director Zack Snyder, who had to bow out at the end of the project. It was finished by Joss Whedon. That'll premiere next June. And happy birthday today to Mr. T. The A-Team and Rocky 3 star is 68. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Pity the fool.
Dude, I didn't even ask her if she was going to do that. I just knew it was going to happen. And
Mr. T.
I'm glad it did. He's 68.
Unbelievable.
457, 75 degrees.
Still ahead in our next half hour, the drama continues over mail-in ballot voting. We're going to have the latest on the newest appeals court ruling and what it means to you.
Plus, if you're headed to the coast this Memorial Day weekend, Port Aransas is one of the destinations that says they are ready for you.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And making headlines at this hour, more free walk-up COVID-19 testing sites are opening up today. We'll tell you where they are.
Plus, as people gear up for a Memorial Day getaway, cities along the coast are ready for an influx of visitors.
And as we look at live cam this morning, can't see it here, but areas to the south and southwest of San Antonio are seeing some showers and thunderstorms. We'll see if they'll keep on cooking all morning long. Good morning to you. It is Thursday. It is the 21st.
Thanks for being with us this morning, everybody. I must have been super tired because I slept through any storms that may have hit my area. Woke you up.
They did, but I know they were kind of few and far between too, Mike Osterhage.
Yeah, there were some, up around Austin, there was a lot of big storms, northern counties of our area. Off to the west, there were some huge storms. And right now you're talking about things still cooking now. The burners have been turned off and everything seems to be dying down, as these storms usually do as we get closer to sunrise. 75 degrees, so once again, it is definitely on the warm side. We actually went up a couple of notches just in the past hour, so we're about 7, 8 degrees above normal. And yeah, there's still plenty of humidity out there with those dew points up to 69. As far as some as far as rain around the area, and there you can see some of those leftover showers. Now we do still have those storms well down to the southwest, and a lot of lightning with that. That's going to continue to kind of work its way to the east southeast and then sort of die down. We had this last cluster of storms right there in northeastern Frio County, and then that just basically hit the Atascosa County line and sort of fell apart. And overall, these showers are continuing to fall apart. Had a couple of showers and even the winds kind of picked up a couple of hours ago and then sort of died down, and there were a few showers around town. So just watch out for a couple of wet spots on the roads here and there. Again, these temperatures remain well above normal. We will still have, by the way, mold is on the moderate side. It did drop down from the previous day's reading. Scattered rain around the area. Won't be as hot today. Still going to be fairly humid out there, but we'll be about 90 instead of mid to upper 90s like the past few days. And again, a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible. And then tonight we are going to have to watch out for another one of those nighttime storm complexes to move down from the hill country. Then some scattered rain tomorrow, mid 80s, a couple of thunderstorms as well. And once we go into the weekend, rain chances will improve, especially towards Sunday and Monday. It won't be a washout, but on the flip side, there may be a couple of heavier downpours as well, so we'll have to watch out for that. Details coming up. Time saver traffic right now. Here's Officer Nick Solis. Anything big going on out there?
Not right now, Mike. Everything seems to be cleared up. So if you are on the way to work right now, expect a very smooth ride. A lot of green on the screen and no accidents to report, so it's always good news there. But roadways may be a little slick, like Mike said, so please be careful. We want everyone to get to work safely. Make sure you wear that seatbelt and go that speed limit. All right, let's take a look at some drive times. If you're eastbound 1604 from 281 to 35, it's 9 minutes. And if you're westbound from 1604 from 35 back to 281, 8 minutes. So really good times there. Taking a look outside of the TransGuide, 35 in Flores looking good. 10 west at 1604. You got 2 cars on the roadway there. Looks like a smooth ride. 10 at La Cantera, same, looking really good. And let's see if it gives me another I-10 here. 10 at Ralph Fair, we have that construction. Perfect timing. TransGuide still there, so expect to run into that if you're going westbound I-10. All right, Mark, Leslie, back to you.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you to our friends at TransGuide this morning. Starting today, 2 new free walk-up testing sites will open up and will continue to operate through Saturday. Test sites will be at the Palo Alto College Gym on West Villarette Boulevard and the Nellie Reddick Center on Sid Katz Drive. They'll run from 10 to 2 today through Saturday. No appointment needed, and testing is available for those with symptoms and without. Each site will be able to test 175 people per day. 2 additional testing locations will open up May 28th, and we have those locations on KSAT.com.
Well, there's also testing for COVID-19 from the comfort of your own home. It's a service a local organization is now offering for those who want to be tested, but they don't want to risk leaving their house. Bear Aid already offers drive-through testing downtown, but now they're partnering with a doctor from Casa Salud to offer the at-home testing. They are approved by the Food and Drug Administration, and once testing is complete, the samples are delivered to a private lab, which returns results overnight.
The city of San Antonio, Bexar County, Metro Health, they're all offering a limited but free testing to the community. Their laboratories are a little bit slower than we're able to turn around. But if you're an individual that's worried, is presenting symptoms, or is just worried that they might have come into contact with somebody, they can come in, get a test, and get results within 24 hours.
Well, testing is not free, and it will set you back $200. Appointments can be arranged through Bear Aid's website.
It didn't take long for Attorney General Ken Paxton to respond to a federal court ruling over the use of mail-in ballots here in Texas. The initial ruling made by San Antonio-based federal judge Fred Beery, and now Paxton has filed an appeal with the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals.
As Paul Venema reports, the federal appeals court has put the ruling on hold.
He said mail-in ballots are vulnerable to fraud. 2/3 of all the election fraud cases prosecuted by my office involve mail ballot fraud, also known as vote harvesting. Allowing widespread mail-in ballots will lead to greater fraud and disenfranchising lawful voters. Following yesterday's federal court ruling, Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez explained what that ruling means to voters.
What the federal court is saying is those that are concerned with potential or possible transmission and request a mail-in ballot are going to get one.
In Tuesday's ruling, Judge Fred Beery said the court finds the Grim Reaper's scepter of pandemic disease or death is far more serious than an unsupported fear of voter fraud. He added, indeed, if vote by mail fraud is real, it dictates that all voting should be in person. We reached out to Bexar County Elections Administrator Jackie Callanan to comment on the voter fraud controversy. She could not comment since she's named in the original lawsuit. Paul Venema, KSAT 12 News.
Over on the coast, Port Aransas is preparing to welcome back beachgoers from the Memorial Day weekend.
The upcoming holiday is said to be an important one for the beachside community after they saw a drop in tourists. City leaders say they are anticipating up to 50,000 people this weekend, which they say is a good thing for the economy. Groups have already been going back out to area beaches since they reopened last month. Bars and businesses are ready to reopen as well, under Governor Greg Abbott's guidelines, of course. City leaders are also reminding those who plan to visit to follow social distancing guidelines.
We'll see how it goes. 507, 75 degrees.
Still ahead, Apple is making life just a little bit easier with the new Face Mask Unlike feature on your iPhone.
Plus, if you're tired of you kids watching too much TV, I'll tell you about some resources available from the San Antonio Public Library.
And LiveCam giving us a look outside once again. Unfortunately, a lot of rain in the forecast for the holiday weekend. We need the rain, but it's a holiday. Michael have details.
511. If you're tired of binge watching TV and have run out of books to read at home, San Antonio Public Library has plenty of online resources for you to take advantage of.
Sarah Costa joins us live from home with what the library has to offer. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Mark and Leslie. So if you have restless children at home, or if you're an adult simply just looking for some way to keep your mind busy during this kind of not so normal time, the San Antonio Library has so many online resources. The library has over 30,000 e-books that can be read on computers, tablets, or smartphones. If you rather listen than read, you can also download one of the library's thousands of e-audiobooks. For the kids, the library has plenty of virtual story times, virtual programming, and live homework help. In addition to all those resources, the Central Library is also celebrating its 25-year anniversary. Those celebrations will happen virtually with a podcast, cooking segment, historical videos, and live trivia events today through Saturday.
It's a really easy way to find those things is to go to the San Antonio Public Library Facebook page, and that's where it's really easy to find them all. But that's why we're doing these events virtually. We wanted to give people the opportunity to celebrate with us, even though you can't come into the library right now.
You can find all those digital resources right now on KSAT.com. Reporting live from home, I'm Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News. Mark and Leslie.
Thank you, Sarah.
And your morning consumer headlines, new numbers on first-time unemployment claims are due out this morning. Several economists polled by Reuters think that they will show about 2.5 million more Americans filed last week. The numbers have been gradually falling since a record 6.8 million people filed in a single week in mid-March.
Heinz Ketchup now making an insanely slow puzzle available for purchase. Here's a look. It's 570 pieces.
What?
A nod to the brand's 57 varieties, all in the exact same shade of red. So definitely a challenge for puzzle lovers. The company recently gave away 57 of them in a social media contest. It says there was an overwhelming response to the limited run. You can now buy one at HeinzKetchupPuzzle.com. Price for this solid red puzzle, $24.99.
No, thank you. That would make me insane.
You're kidding me. You can't handle that?
I cannot handle that. I can't handle the ketchup puzzle.
Wow. They're going to sell out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just the novelty of it.
I think it would be a fun way for parents to keep kids busy because they like challenges. Get it, parents.
Right
and
now,
video it.
Yeah. 514, 75 degrees.
Still had a look at Machine Gun Kelly's new music video that has already racked up more than 500,000 views on its first few hours online.
Up next, more on how Apple just made it easier to unlock your iPhone while wearing a face mask.
Nerds! To all the people questioning right now. Questioning, is now a good time for us to invest? Should I refinance my house? Do twins mean twice the insurance? How can I get my credit score to go up? Can I afford to do this? Can I afford not to? Are there credit card perks for pizza? To all those simply questioning, where do I go with all these questions? We've got your back. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
I switched to Miralax for my constipation. Stimulant laxatives forcefully stimulate the nerves in your colon. Miralax works with the water in your body to unblock your system naturally, and it doesn't cause bloating, cramping, gas, or a sudden urgency. Miralax, look for the pink app.
Staying home is essential, but some can't do it alone. They need help to stay home and stay safe. They need us, and we need you. Home Instead. Apply today.
In today's Tech Bites, unlocking your phone while wearing a mask. A feature on Apple's new operating system makes that process go more quickly. If you're wearing a mask, swipe up once from the bottom of the screen and you'll immediately see the option to enter your passcode. Big changes are coming to Facebook's offices. Bloomberg reports the company will allow workers to return July 6th. However, offices will be limited to 25% capacity. Also, staff will reportedly undergo regular temperature checks and be required to wear face masks. Finally, one of the biggest podcasting deals ever. Joe Rogan is taking his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, to Spotify in a deal likely worth more than $100 million. Rogan's full library will be moving exclusively to Spotify. His video podcast will no longer be available on YouTube. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
It's still a little early, so don't be surprised if you run into some construction out and about this morning.
Yeah, you might also have problems with some wet roads.
Yeah, definitely both. Just be careful. We're going down I-10. We do have some construction there. It's still there. It looks like it's blocked off all the main lanes of westbound I-10. So eastbound, if you look right here, this looks like that's like where the H-E-B Walmart is there in that area. Now, to get around this traffic, it looks like you could probably exit Bernie Stage Road, go around on the access road behind, I think it's Willie's Ice House there, and then come back on the main lanes of westbound I-10 to get past this construction. But we've been dealing with this since 4:30 now. Hopefully it will be cleared up by around 6 a.m., but no guarantees there. Taking a look at other parts of the city, FM 309 and 35 looking good. Looks like a picture of a gas station there. 35 and Schwab Road looking great. Traffic flowing very smoothly. 35 and 482 good. 35 and 37 looking good and attended medical
We
as
like
well.
that.
Did you guys hear the storms last night? Nick?
Yes, they woke me up at 11:02.
Precisely
yeah.
11:02.
Yeah, because, you know, sleep is very calculated.
Sure. I mean, this is a guy who writes reports for a living. 11:02.
Yeah, the windows were shaking.
Were they?
Yeah.
Interesting picture behind you.
Yeah, with all the lightning, because it was a pretty good light show. But yeah, I didn't hear a thing until, what was it, about 2:30 or so this morning. And that's when I heard the wind kind of shift around. There were a couple of sprinkles in my house, but no, I didn't hear a thing. But there was a lot of lightning and thunder. Now, looking around some of the TransGuide cameras, it doesn't look like the roads are that wet right now. There may still be a couple of wet spots here and there. 410 looks okay over there by the airport, and we've still got a fairly decent cluster of thunderstorms down there, heading just across the river, and it looks like it's now taking almost a little bit of a more southward path, and that's going to probably stay like that for the next couple of hours. And then as the sun starts to come up, it's going to start to die down. Now, there was that cell out there in northeastern, Frio County. That has all but died down. Still a few showers around Atascosa County, moving across 37. We had a couple of showers that moved across the metropolitan area earlier this morning, but nothing is being picked up on radar right now. So again, few and far between as far as any little wet spots on the roads. Temperatures are about 7-8 degrees above normal. We're in the mid 70s right now. Humidity is still there. It's actually come down a little bit. We got a slightly drier air that moved down in here with some of these thunderstorms. And of course, these were all born out there to the west, and they held together overnight. That was one thing we were talking about this time yesterday, that some of these, there was some computer models that actually indicated this, and it obviously came to be. And what's interesting to note also is as this moves through here, these things form their own little mini weather systems. And notice that big counterclockwise circulation right there as that storm moved through parts of the hill country. And they, again, usually stay together in the overnight hours and then start to fall apart. Now, later on today, Storm Prediction Center once again has the marginal risk for a couple of strong to severe storms as more of these get going out there in northwestern portions of the hill country. Throughout the day, we may have a couple of scattered showers around here. That's pretty much going to be it. There's some of those trying to fire up in the mountains of Mexico, but also up in northern portions of the hill country. And then about this time tomorrow, we're going to have to watch potentially another cell moving on through the area, and right about morning commute time, more of these showers and thunderstorms sliding on down through here. And then even throughout the day, a couple of leftover showers. It won't rain constantly, but we'll have to watch out for that. Then we have more chances of rain coming in here over the weekend. And we've all been kind of talking about this the past couple of days. It's not going to be a washout, and really things are still a little iffy as far as what sets up Sunday and Monday, but it won't be a washout, but there will be some potentially heavier downpours. A couple of computer models do have a couple of heavier pockets of rain Sunday and even on Monday in spots. 83 degrees at noon today, 90 for a high temperature, so not as warm as yesterday, thank goodness. And a couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms are possible. We'll have to watch out for some developing overnight tonight and then scattered about the area tomorrow. Same thing on Saturday. Rain chances start to go up. Now, it's not, again, going to be a washout, but we'll have better rain chances Sunday, Monday, and still sticking around Tuesday, Wednesday.
Our yards will be happy, and we'll definitely need to cut the grass next week when it goes away.
Indeed.
Thank you, Mike. Right now we are at 522, and we're running at 75 degrees. I know, my ventriloquism is amazing.
It was. That was impressive. Up next in your morning spotlight, the latest on the special re-release of the Justice League superhero movie by Hollywood director Zack Snyder.
Some movie fans have been clamoring for 3 years about a different version of successful but widely criticized superhero movie.
Now it appears they're going to get their wish. CNN's David Daniel has that and more in your Hollywood Minute.
It's good to see you playing well with others again. Just like a bat. I dig it. Maybe temporary.
Director Zack Snyder had to step away from Justice League before finishing the 2017 film due to a family crisis. Now his vision may finally reach audiences. Snyder and HBO Max confirm his cut will debut on the streaming service next year. According to The Hollywood Reporter, he's assembling a post-production team and may even bring back actors to record new dialogue for what could be released as either 6 separate chapters or one nearly 4-hour film.
The simulation just went bad, but you're the best I ever had.
Machine Gun Kelly's new music video won't do much to quell rumors he's dating Megan Fox. The actress is front and center in the clip for Bloody Valentine, which racked up more than 500,000 views in its first few hours online. It's the first single from Kelly's upcoming album, Tickets to My Downfall.
Am I a stranger if I don't recognize myself?
It might seem strange that Tracy Ellis Ross, daughter of Diana, had never sung in public before. That's changed with her starring role in The High Note. This is one of the songs she performs in the film Love Myself. You can see and hear more when The High Note debuts on demand May 29th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
5:27 now, 75 degrees.
Still ahead in our next half hour, President Trump threatening to withhold funds from some states that are making mail at home voting easier.
But there are new questions about the firing of State Department watchdog who was investigating U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
And when it comes to booking your summer travel, now might be the best time to buy. More on what advantages consumers have right now.
Good morning to you. It's 5:30 on your Thursday, May 21st.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning, everybody. Don't forget the umbrellas you head out, not just today, but it looks like there's a chance continuously over the next few days.
Yeah, kind of across the board, but the stuff we've had out there overnight, Mike says, is really starting to fade a bit.
Yeah, except way down to the southwest, and we've got actually a new severe thunderstorm. Pardon me, let me go back here a little bit. Well down there to the southwest, as severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued, as that continues to work its way down to the southeast, kind of out of our area down there toward Laredo. Going to look up more on that in a moment. But yeah, a lot of these continue to sort of fizzle on out. That cell around northeastern Frio County, which was looking pretty nasty about an hour ago, has just about disappeared. And we had a couple of showers and a few thunderstorms that moved through the metropolitan area overnight, and those have all pretty much fizzled on out. 75 degrees here in town. Same thing, Randolph, Port SA, and then some in the some 60s out in portions of the hill country. Molds on the moderate side, and throughout the day we are going to make it up to 90 today, so it's not going to be anywhere near as hot as the past couple of days. A couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms are still possible today. Not a great chance of it, but tonight we're also going to have to be on the lookout for another one of those nighttime storm complexes that a lot of indications are it's going to be developing up in northern portions of the hill country and working its way down through the area by tomorrow morning. And then, yes, we will have some rain around this weekend. It's not going to be a washout, but do want to keep your umbrella handy. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now. Here's Officer Nick Solis. Anything big going on?
No, not much, Mike. Things are looking good. As you can see with the green on the screen, always good news there. On I-10, we had some construction at the westbound lanes of I-10 at Ralph Fair Road. Looks like that's starting to clear up just a little bit as they've opened up the access road that leads onto I-10 there. So hopefully that's going to get cleared up very soon. Take a look at these drive times. If you're on 35 southbound from the city of New Braunfels to 1604, it's 11 minutes, and from 1604 to downtown, 12 minutes. So really good times there total. That's good news if you're heading that way. All right, 281 in Hildebrand looking good. Traffic still very light around the city. 151 and 410 looking great. What else do we have here? 90 in Lackland, same. Things are looking really good. And let's do one more. Drum roll, 410 and 151 as well. Another shot of there looking good. So everyone, roadway still could be very slick a little bit. Just please be careful, use that seatbelt, and go the speed limit. Mark, Leslie, back to you.
Thank you, Nick. Well, firefighters say high wind might be the cause of a house fire that happened overnight in the Live Oak area. It happened just before midnight in the 400 block of Elmwood. Bexar County says the fire started in the back bathroom of the house, but it was quickly knocked down by firefighters. One person who was in the house at the time did make it out safely. Fire investigators say high wind caused a tree to fall. That knocked out a power line and caused an outage in the area. Fire officials say a power surge from that incident might have been what sparked the fire.
The COVID-19 pandemic has some Americans concerned about standing in line to vote this November.
That's why some states are taking steps to make it easier to vote by mail. And as CNN's John Lawrence reports, President Trump is not pleased.
President Trump once again blasting the vote-by-mail process. There's a lot of illegality. They send in ballots that they harvest ballots. You know all about harvesting, and they do lots of bad things.
All eligible voters in Michigan, which is in the middle of a flooding emergency, will be sent an absentee ballot application for the 2020 election. The president took to Twitter Wednesday, threatening to hold up funding to Michigan if they want to go down this voter fraud path.
We got to take politics out of this crisis moment. And remember, we're all Americans.
The vote by mail system is secure, verified by a voter's signature. So really, as we know, the data shows voter fraud is infinitesimal.
Another swing state President Trump lashed at is Nevada, also hinting that he may hold up funds.
This nation can't be going down that path because it's a very dangerous path to go down.
States have the legal right to make electoral changes, and Republicans have repeatedly been against federal intervention into elections. President Trump cast a ballot by mail earlier this year.
With regard to the president doing a mail-in vote, the president is, after all, the president, which means he's here in Washington. He's unable to cast his vote down in Florida, his state of residence.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Also making headlines this morning, the CEO of United Airlines says he hopes to avoid staff cuts in the near future. This after Congress passed a $50 billion bailout package to prevent airline job losses. Scott Kirby says he hopes he can reach an agreement with the airline's unions to keep its 100,000 employees on the payroll. Airlines who took bailout money are not allowed to lay off or furlough any workers before the end of September.
Federal authorities want a rare ancient tablet bought by a craft store chain to be returned to Iraq. They filed a civil complaint this week to forfeit the Gilgamesh Dream tablet to U.S. authorities because they say it was brought into the country illegally. Law enforcement seized it last year from the Museum of the Bible. Hobby Lobby, whose president is also chairman of the museum, bought the tablet in 2014. Both Hobby Lobby and the museum say Christie's auction house lied to them about the artifact's origins. The store is now suing them for fraud and breach of contract. Just about 5:36, 75 degrees.
Still ahead this hour, we're going to check out the new look of a famous beer that has strong ties to San Antonio.
And next, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo reacting after new questions arise about the firing of a top State Department watchdog.
And taking you back outside with live cam, please be careful as you head out today. There are some wet patches of roads. Want you to get where you're going safely.
5:38, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo responding to growing criticism after the firing of a State Department watchdog who was investigating him.
Pompeo now speaking out, calling stories in the media crazy. ABC's Alex Perche has the latest.
This morning, new questions about the firing of a State Department watchdog who was investigating Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
Frankly, should have done it some time ago.
Pompeo says he requested President Trump fire Inspector General Steve Linick because he was unhappy with Linick's performance. At the time, Linick was investigating Pompeo's declaration of an emergency last May to sell arms to Saudi Arabia, bypassing Congress. ABC News has learned Pompeo declined to be interviewed by the Inspector General's office about that arms deal. Instead, he submitted written answers to questions from investigators. Linick was also investigating Pompeo's use of a staffer to run personal errands, like dog walking and picking up dry cleaning.
Someone was walking my dog to sell arms to my dry cleaner. I mean, it's all just crazy.
On Wednesday, Pompeo again denied Linick's firing was retaliation, at first saying he was unaware of the investigations.
I didn't have access to that information, so I couldn't possibly have retaliated.
But moments later, Pompeo confirmed he was aware of one particular investigation and submitted answers in writing for it. He didn't elaborate.
There's one exception. I was asked a series of questions in writing. I responded to those questions with respect to a particular investigation. I don't know the scope. I don't know the nature of that investigation other than what I would have seen from the nature of the questions that I was presented.
Linick is the fourth Inspector General to be fired by President Trump in the last 6 weeks. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer now accusing the administration of being a dictatorship.
Every other president has listened to attorneys general, has listened to inspectors general when they told the truth and tried to correct things. This president fires them.
The State Department is also responding to a report by NBC that Pompeo was holding taxpayer-funded dinner parties with guests from the corporate world and the entertainment industry. A spokesperson has responded saying those dinners are opportunities to discuss foreign policy matters. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
Now 5:41, 75 degrees.
Coming up next, for more than 100 years, Pearl Beer has been a part of San Antonio. We'll show you how the iconic brand is getting reborn.
An iconic beer with ties to San Antonio now has a new look. Pearl Beer's flavor and branding has been renewed.
And even though the beer hasn't been brewed in San Antonio for years, RJ Marquez tells us designers still use the Alamo City's growth for inspiration.
It's latest in a series of stories examining the local alcohol industry, SA Spirits.
It's really been a process that's 134 years in the making. The brand has always been something that we've been excited to rebirth.
For more than a century, Pearl Beer has been a part of San Antonio's history. Now the iconic brand is getting reborn. The Pearl Brewing Company is relaunching what it calls its Gem of Fine Beer. The gem is a nod to bubbles in the lager.
The gem-like bubbles that look like little pearls within the glass, and it really was all about beauty. And so we thought that this brand as a whole just had a huge opportunity to be rebirthed.
The brewing company worked with Austin-based design company Gorilla Suit on the new design. It's inspired by both the city's recent growth and the original branding, including the Triple X's.
We really were excited by things like the Triple X's, that pre-prohibition signature of supreme craftsmanship that goes back to even, medieval days, to really drive home that we're bringing it into a little bit more of a higher quality state.
The original Pearl script was given a small modern upgrade, and the original clamshell is also featured in the new design.
And as you can see now, kind of the Triple X's live within that iconic clamshell that Pearl has been so well known for.
The beer also has a new flavor with a mix of modern ingredients that give it that classic American lager taste.
At the end of the day, we wanted this to still be a Texas easy drinking lager. It gets up to 100, 105 degrees here. We eat spicy food. We want something that goes down easy.
The Pearl has always been an innovator in brewing in America. With this relaunch, the company hopes to add to its storied history.
We wanted to, really pay attention to some iconic Texas Southwestern design cues, some original equity from the brand, but give it that touch of modernity that really would make it be something timeless for the next 10 to 20, 30, 40 years.
I'm RJ Marcus. To see more stories like this, watch KSAT News at 9, Monday through Friday.
Well, the new Pearl Beer is being sold in select locations across Texas, including San Antonio.
It will be available at H-E-B on June the 1st. Well, Victoria's Secret is getting smaller. The company behind the lingerie brand now says it will permanently close around 250 stores in the United States and Canada this year. L Brands says it will also close around 50 Bath and Body Works locations.
Target saw sales in the most recent quarter jump as Americans stocked up for lockdowns. The company says sales for the quarter ending May 1st were up nearly 11%. Those sales driven almost entirely by online shopping. Idea of getting away probably sounds amazing right now. People desperately want to get out of the house.
As CNN's Melissa Rainey reports, now might be the best time to book your next trip.
Whether you've been waiting for the right time during the pandemic to book your vacation or just became tempted by a crazy cheap deal, now may be the time to save some money. Due to record losses in customers and revenue across the travel industry, companies are looking to make any concession they can to make booking with them as tempting as possible. And that means practically risk-free spending for you. Just look at air travel. According to the CEO of Dollar Flight Club, flights are as low as they've been since 2001. And most major airlines are offering no change fees and no rebooking penalties through the end of the year. Delta is even allowing 2 years of cancellation credit. Hotels are itching for you to book too. Marriott International and Hilton are letting customers with new bookings until June 30th cancel up to 24 hours before the visit with no penalties. That includes typically non-refundable discounted prepaid rates. Some car rental companies are even getting in the mix by waiving young driver fees and prepaid cancellation fees. But as always, make sure to check the company website and read their latest policy information before booking. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Melissa Rainey.
Just about 5:48.
Well, it's time to check on the roadways once again. Any new accidents to report? It was busy earlier this morning.
Yeah, it was definitely busy, but things are looking up since. Very smooth on the roadways right now. If you are headed to work, you got time to get some food, stop for gas. Things are looking good out there. A lot of green there on the screen. Just look at these drive times. If you're on I-10 westbound from the northwest side of I-35 to 1604, it's an 11-minute ride. And if you're on 10 eastbound from the northwest side of 1604 to 35, 13 minutes. So really good times there. Taking a look outside of the transit guide, things are looking good. 410 and Calabria, 35 and 482 looking great. Traffic starting to pick up from from really stagnant to light now, so still really good. 151 and 410 a little a moderate, and let's do one more here. 90 at Lackland, looking great.
Thank you, Nick. Hi, Mike.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you.
You were awakened by some storms last night.
He was awakened by some storms last night.
Yeah,
And he was awakened by some storms.
A lot of them were pretty strong out there and had some pretty good downpours too. But then some areas didn't really see much of anything.
I heard him and then immediately fell back asleep.
Okay, glad to hear that. So got your beauty rest.
Thank you.
All right, beautiful picture from Wilson County. Oh, that's gorgeous out there. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Lots of clouds still hanging around this morning. I don't know if we're going to be having one of those picture-perfect sunrises or not. Most all of the rain in the area has just about fizzled out. Down to the southwest, we still have that one cell, and this is the one that has prompted, and there's still a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Webb County. As you can see, this is kind of drifting a little more down to the south, back down into Mexico, but the biggest threat, now winds are less than 50 miles per hour being reported with this, but there is some large hail being reported with this. So that's what you got to watch out for if you're heading down 35. Laredo looks like you are in line for this, and some of the smaller towns down there in Webb County. There was a pretty good cell in northeastern Frio County. That pretty much died off. We had a few showers earlier this morning, about 3-4 hours ago, and then those have all just kind of fizzled on out. Still 75 in town. Same thing Port SA as well as Randolph. New Braunfels at 74. These temperatures about 78 degrees above normal. A lot of humidity out there as well, which is feeding some of these showers and thunderstorms. Of course, the storms that moved on through here were born way out there to the west in the late evening hours last night and moved through, held together overnight. And watch how this one, you can see these form their own little storm systems there. And that's what exactly that did in portions of the hill country. And there was some pretty good downpours, a lot of lightning as well associated with these as they moved on through. There is the threat again tonight. Late afternoon and tonight way out to the west with more of those storms trying to develop, which computer models are definitely picking on up. Now today there may be a couple of scattered showers around the area, and then later on this evening, got to watch this time not from basically out west but up from the north. Another one of these nighttime complexes holding together. So by this time tomorrow morning, it does look like we are going to be seeing more of this move on through here. A couple of heavier downpours, pretty good light show associated with these things. And this computer model also keeps a few of these showers and thunderstorms together. A little bit better chance for some rain around the area tomorrow. Then we go into Saturday. We'll still have some scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms around here. And it looks like rain chances. Now, I'm not saying there's going to be a washout for Sunday and Monday, but we'll have some, I think, better rain chances throughout the day, Sunday as well as into Monday. And it also looks like rain chances may be sticking around throughout at least the first half of next week. We've got a pattern where we've got some fairly decent disturbances moving on through here. 83 degrees today at noon. Couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm here or there, but rain chances aren't that great throughout the day, and a couple of showers, a storm, 90 for a high temperature. So at least we are going to be not as hot as the past couple of days. Then tonight we have to watch out for another one of those big nighttime storm complexes to develop up there in the hill country and work its way south. And tomorrow we'll have, I think, a better chance for some scattered showers, a few thunderstorms. Same thing on Saturday. And then we go into Sunday and Monday. Looks like those 2 days may be the better chances for some rain. Again, not a washout, but then there also could be a couple of heavy downpours too.
When's the last time we saw almost across the board rain chances on that?
It's been a long time. We need it.
Yeah, and the way this pattern's setting up, good chunk of next week.
And I like how it's kind of spread out. You know, it's not just a deluge.
Hopefully not.
A deluge.
Deluge. It's French. It's very fancy. 552, 75 degrees.
Coming up next, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center need your help. More on a blood drive that starts later today.
Let's check out lay lottery numbers. Three numbers 162 Fireball 1. Your daily four numbers 6671 Fireball 9.
And your cash 5 numbers 1, 3, 11, 15, 16. And your lotto numbers 2, 4, 5, 29, 48, and 50. Oh, Powerball. Sorry about that. 18, 34, 40, 42, 50. Powerball of 9. Power play of 2.
Good morning. Coming up here on a Thursday on GMA, the latest on that breaking news, a gunman opening fire at an Arizona shopping center. That's a shopping center that, of course, had been closed due to COVID-19 and then recently reopened. Police are taking the suspect into custody and federal agents have now joined the investigation. So we'll be live there with the latest right here on GMA.
A reminder, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center really could use your help. They say that the need for blood has increased, likely due to elective surgeries resuming across the area and across the state. Help meet the need. There are plenty of opportunities to give, and here are a couple of them. First one, 3-day blood drive at the Alamo Dome starts today. Donors will receive a $10 H-E-B gift card for every donation. $5 will be donated to the San Antonio Food Bank. You can schedule an appointment by calling 210-731-5590 or visiting southtexasblood.org. Of course, you can find all this information on KSAT.com. Hey, listen to this. Researchers have made a remarkable discovery: hidden text on fragments of the Dead Sea Scrolls that were long thought to be blank. The fragments housed at the University of Manchester in the UK for decades. They were deemed largely worthless until recently, when scholars looked at the scrolls with special imaging cameras. On 4 of the fragments, they found bits and pieces of readable Hebrew Aramaic text. Researchers say the most substantial fragment has the word Sabbath that can be clearly read. These fragments were excavated when the Dead Sea Scrolls were first discovered in caves in the West Bank. Unbelievable. About 3 till right now, still ahead the next hour of Good Morning San Antonio. Notice for parents. We'll tell you what social scientists are saying about why preschoolers want to eat when they sit down to watch TV. And we'll get an update from Officer Nick Solis from SAPD. That's coming up here on GMSA. Stick around.
High winds caused a domino effect that ultimately started a house fire that forced one woman out of her home. That happened overnight just north of downtown. I have all the details just ahead on GMSA.
All 50 states have begun the process of easing restrictions, but they're not all going about it the same way. I'm Alex Bechet in Washington with details about the roadmap to reopening.
And taking you outside with live cam, we had some storms overnight, and there's much more rain in the forecast. It's a holiday weekend, but Mike has all the details coming up.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Well, good morning. It is Thursday. It is May 21st. Mother Nature put on a free light show for some of you overnight.
And I slept right through it. Didn't hear a thing. And you didn't either, though, did you, Mike?
Nope, not until I woke up this morning, and it seemed like the wind kind of picked up a little bit here in town, but there wasn't much rain earlier this morning, at least here in town.
Nick heard it at precisely 11:02.
11:02.
We had the details.
Yeah, and more fireworks to come, right?
Yes, we still have some well down to the south around Laredo. I'm going to show you that in a second. Out there by the airport, it looks like things are fairly dry and, not much rain. Everything continues to die down. And that cell, which did prompt a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Webb County, that was allowed to expire right at the top of the hour, but it was producing some fairly big hail. That was what prompted that. But obviously some good rain with that, too. So got to watch out for folks around Laredo. And there were some storms around northeastern Frio County heading in toward Frio, but they're heading in toward Atascosa County, beg your pardon. Those kind of fizzle on out. Nothing is showing up on radar in and around town as of right now. Temperature still at 75 degrees, about 7-8 degrees above normal. A lot of humidity out there as well. Mold is on the moderate side, little bits of grass and pigweed. And throughout the rest of today, we are going to be, I was thinking we were going to be dropping down just a little bit. Doesn't look like that's going to happen too much, but we'll have some 60s and low 70s this morning. And then a couple of showers are possible throughout the day. Not very likely. Rain chances aren't that great. 83 degrees today at noon, and we'll top off with a high of 90. So at least it is going to be not as hot, anywhere near as hot as what it was the past couple of days. We'll still have that humidity out there with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. We're going to have to watch out for more of those thunderstorms to develop later on tonight. There's a chance for a cluster of them to come down from the hill country, and then the next couple of days we will have some rain chances around here. Won't be a washout this weekend, but there will be rain. Details coming up. Time saver traffic right now. Officer Nick Solis, 11:02.
Yeah, Mike, I was already dreaming about the Dallas Cowboys winning another Super Bowl, and then I got woken up. All right, well, here we go. No traffic. A lot of green on the screen now. Jokester now. All right, so here we go. Drive times. Eastbound 1604 from 281 to 35. 8 minutes, and westbound 1604 from 35 to 281, 8 minutes. So still good times. If you're on the way to work, you got time to make a pit stop. Things are looking good. Traffic very light right now all around the city. Look at 35 and 37, 10 at Medical, 281 at Hildebrand, looking very good. Very light traffic there. Let's see what else. We have 151 and 410. Always looks a little bit more moderate there around this time, but still not bad. 90 and Lackland as well. Well, just a reminder, make sure you all wear your seatbelts, go the speed limit, and get to work safely, please. Mark, Leslie, back to you.
All right, Nick, thank you. It's good to have goals and dreams, sir. Well, overnight, a woman was forced out of her home by flames while her north side neighborhood was in the middle of a power outage. San Antonio Fire Department responded to the scene in the 400 block of Elmwood Drive around 11:30 last night. That's San Pedro and Hildebrand area, not too far from Edison High School. Alicia Beretta is live downtown with more details. Alicia, good morning.
Good morning. Well, it was definitely a dark scene after a tree fell, knocked down a utility pole and power line, and that's what left several people without electricity last night. This is what authorities say happened last night around 11:30 on the 400 block of Elmwood Drive. They say that the high winds from last night may have caused that tree to fall down, leaving dozens without power. One woman was almost left without her home after her property caught fire towards the back. Firefighters were able to quickly take control of that fire and put it out. We know the woman did live alone and was able to get out safely, but there is substantial damages to the home. The damage estimate right now is about $20,000. The cause of that fire is still under investigation, but authorities say it may be electrical citing a power surge. And this morning I did take a look at the CPS outage map. We know that, again, several people were without power. It was about a 2 to 6 blocks radius of the people that were affected. But this morning, that 400 block of Elmwood looks clear. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you very much, Alicia. Well, Atascosa County investigators are trying to figure out how 4 cement trucks caught fire late last night near Jourdanton. Take a look at the video. We received this from a viewer who lives nearby. It shows firefighters putting out flames on 4 trucks in a lot. We're still waiting to hear from officials this morning, and we'll update you as soon as we get more information.
San Antonio police are saying that aggressive driving led to an 18-wheeler rolling over near on 410 near East Houston. This happened around 12:30 this morning when another driver cut off the truck. They say the truck driver swerved to avoid hitting the other, but caused him to jackknife. Sod dumped all over the interstate, which took time to clean up. How much sod was out there, Nick?
28 tons.
28 tons of sod everywhere. It took a long time to clean up, but nobody was hurt in this rollover.
2 new sites will open today to offer COVID-19 testing to San Antonians. They will be at the Palo Alto College Gym on West Virat Boulevard and the Nellie Reddick Center on Sid Katz Drive. They will be open at 10 this morning and stay open until 2 this afternoon. They will have these hours today through Saturday. No appointment is needed, and testing is available for those with and without symptoms. Each site will be able to test 175 people per day. 2 additional testing locations will open on May 28th as well. Those locations are listed on KSAT.com.
There are a growing number of options to get tested for COVID-19 other than just walk-through or drive-through facilities. Metro Health says they're all FDA-approved mail-in options from outside companies. They include Pixel by LabCorp and the Austin-based company Everlywell. And now a group of local doctors with Bear Aid will make a house visit to you. While some of these tests are not free, they can offer more ways for people to get tested. To see prices and to schedule an appointment, head on over to KSAT.com.
And the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals is preparing to hear arguments regarding mail-in voting in Texas. The court temporarily blocked the ruling by a San Antonio district judge who said anyone can apply for mail-in ballot during a pandemic. There are some who believe the fear of getting the coronavirus while at the voting polls should allow an individual to vote by mail. However, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton believes an increase in voting by mail will also increase voter fraud. Meanwhile, the Texas Supreme Court is hearing arguments in a separate case over voting by mail.
Well, a local pediatrician came up with a creative way to make sure kids keep up with their vaccinations. Dr. John Fitch of Heritage Pediatrics started doing vaccinations in the car. After telemedicine appointment, parents could drive up and a doctor could give the shots with their kid in the car. He's encouraging other doctors to offer similar programs as appointments for vaccines and checkups drop around the country. Dr. Fitch says it's crucial to keep up immunizations as daycares and other areas of the state reopen.
Well, the San Antonio Food Bank just released its COVID-19 crisis impact report. The nonprofit says its distribution numbers doubled over the last 9 weeks. The food bank distributed 17 million pounds of food through 16 counties. 26,000 hours were served by volunteers. CEO Eric Cooper says people and companies were compelled to give and ensure families in our community did not go hungry. Meanwhile, federal aid to the food bank is just now starting to arrive. Cooper says as people go back to work, it's hard to know what the need will be, but he says they'll be ready to serve.
Over on the coast, Port Aransas preparing to welcome back beachgoers for the Memorial Day weekend. The upcoming holiday is said to be extra important this year for the beachside community if they saw a huge drop in tourism during the pandemic. City leaders say they're anticipating up to 50,000 people this weekend, which they say is good for the economy. Groups have already been going back out to the beaches since they reopened last month. Keith McMullen, interim CEO of Port A's Chamber and Tourism Bureau, says bars are ready to reopen as well under Governor Greg Abbott's guidelines. They also remind those who plan on visiting to follow social distancing guidelines.
Well, the entire country is now moving back to some form of pre-pandemic life.
More than 93,000 people have died in the U.S., prolonging the debate on how quickly states should reopen. ABC's Alex Perchet has more.
Good morning. Yeah, it's about striking a balance between what's good for the public health and what's good for the health of the economy. The message from the Trump administration, though, is one of confidence. All 50 states now easing restrictions, some more quickly than others. In Michigan, these barbers on the state capitol lawn pushing for a faster reopening, offering free haircuts, many without face masks, some armed. Connecticut started reopening yesterday.
If you don't want to go back to work, don't go back to work. But don't deny the rest of us.
Allowing malls and retailers to open at 50% capacity. Restaurants measuring table distance for outdoor dining only. Casinos in Oklahoma back open for business. Customers betting big on new safety measures like mandatory face masks and temperature screenings. A tone of confidence set by Vice President Pence, seen here with Florida's governor in Orlando, eating a burger, neither wearing a mask, but temperature checks for staff and patrons here. New York's governor still urging residents to wear masks.
They are protective and they work. Wear a mask.
Potential setbacks still a major concern. Just 24 hours after the big three automakers restarted production, Ford temporarily shutting down its plants in Chicago and Michigan after 3 returning workers tested positive. When you talk about business concerns, another part of that is the economy, right? More than 36 million Americans have filed for unemployment over the last 2 months. We're going to get another report this morning where that number is expected to grow. Alex Perchet, ABC News, Washington.
6:10, 75 degrees.
One person is in the running for world's greatest son after his gift to his mom. See what she won with the raffle ticket he gave her.
And San Antonio Public Library has many online resources for kids and adults. After the break, Sarah Costa will break down what they are offering.
And Live Cam once again giving us a look outside on your Thursday. Almost a Friday, everybody, and a holiday weekend for most. Thanks for being with us. Welcome back. It is now 6:14. Staying at home can make you a little crazy, especially if you're trying to entertain children.
But you may not have thought of this. San Antonio Public Library is here to help with thousands of online resources for you and the kiddos. Sarah Costa live at home on how you can take advantage of their online catalog.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Mark and Leslie. Did you know that the library offers live free homework help? And that's not just for kids. It's also for adults. That live homework help can help adults with job preparations and resumes, and it's just one of the many tools that they offer online on the San Antonio Central Library's website. Are you looking for a book to read? Check out one of their 30,000 ebooks that can be downloaded on a tablet, computer, or smartphone. What if you want something to listen to during one of your long trail walks? Download an e-audiobook on any of your digital devices. For the kids, there are several virtual story times, educational videos, and other virtual programs. Dale McNeil, the Assistant Director of Public Services with the San Antonio Library, says these resources give people a sense of normalcy during a not-so-normal time.
So, whether someone wants to take a deep dive into really mastering something or, just read some light fiction to entertain themselves for the day, I think the library's resources really give people, either a tool or an escape or both on different days or different times.
The Central Library is also celebrating its 25th anniversary today through Saturday. If you check out the library's Facebook page, you'll find live podcasts, a cooking segment, and live trivia. If you head to KSAT.com right now, you can find a link to all of those online resources. Reporting live from home, I'm Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News. Mark and Leslie.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, let's check the roadways once again, see how your morning commute's shaping up. I've been noticing a lot more cars on the roadways the last couple of days.
Yeah, definitely been a little more busier than it has been, in the last 2 months. So that is correct. But things are looking good still. Traffic's very light to moderate all around the city. Just take a look at the trans guide. 410 and 151 still looking good and running smooth. 35 and 1604 as well. Looking great there. What else we got? 281 in Tacoma on the north side near the airport. Looking great. And what else? 281 in Winding Way. A little bit moderate traffic there, but that goes smooth nonetheless. So things are looking good. Please, everyone, make it to work safely.
Thank you, Nick. Have a theory about your KSAT Connect picture.
Yes.
Leslie was walking or driving by, and then the rays of heaven shone down. Exactly like that.
Okay.
It kind of looks like a spaceship.
Hey, Mike, I could also be wrong.
Yeah, okay then. Thanks very much for the KSAT Connect picture, and the extra little sound effects there were just a benefit to that. We have obviously lots of clouds this morning, so no beautiful sunrises. We'll see a little bit of sunshine mixed in with everything, with the clouds later on this afternoon. Yeah, there was a lot going on overnight and earlier this morning. Most everything has died down. We still have those thunderstorms down there. The severe thunderstorm warning was allowed to expire. It was for some large hail, but there's some pretty good downpours down there around Laredo right now, and otherwise just a few leftover showers just to the south of Pearsall, just about cutting across 37. But again, with these systems, they survive overnight and then they start to die down just as the sun is coming up, as some changes kind of take place in the atmosphere. 60s hill country, 75 in town, 73 Canyon Lake. And just kind of going back in time, again, we had those thunderstorms out there, which a lot of models picked up. Yesterday at this time, we were talking about how there was going to be the chance for some of them to hold together in the overnight hours, and that was definitely the case. And it sort of split up into two different paths here. One went north and the other one stayed down there to the south. And if you look a little closer, first of all, there's that cells that moved through town here and produced quite a bit of thunder and lightning and a couple of heavier downpours. And notice that circulation right there. These things kind of form their own little weather systems. And this is a perfect example of it right there, as that thing just kind of spins up and then they sort of fall apart. Now, we've got the chance again for some potentially strong to severe storms out to the west late this afternoon and tonight. Here's the computer model through today. Everything sort of fizzles on out. We'll have a few more showers trying to pop up later on today. And instead of coming out of the Rio Grande Valley tonight, we have to look up to the north for another one of these thunderstorm clusters to develop and work its way down to the south in the overnight hours and through about this time tomorrow morning. We'll have to watch out for potentially some heavy rain. And also this kind of holds things together throughout a good chunk of the day tomorrow, and then maybe begins to die down. However, we will then still have, I think, a little bit better rain chances going into Saturday and better still Sunday and Monday. It's not going to be a washout, but we'll still have our fair share. And there's also going to be, some computer models are trying to pick up a couple of kind of bullseyes, some heavy downpours at times Sunday as well as Monday. 83 degrees today at noon. A couple of showers around here, a few showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two today. 90 for a high temperature. Wind out of the southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then this time tomorrow morning, we're going to have to watch out for maybe some of those leftover showers and thunderstorms, and then some scattered ones throughout the day tomorrow as well as Saturday. Again, it won't rain constantly, but still, I think a better chance of rain would be Sunday and Monday. Not a washout, though, and then still some showers around here going into the middle of next week.
Well, maybe tomorrow we can ask you more about a possible beach forecast, too, because I know some folks are going to want to hit the coast.
Yep. A lot of people are.
It's going to be a little iffy.
Kind of like here.
Just getting down there if it's not the most perfect weather.
Right.
And you know what, though? Sometimes a big rainstorm, even because you're watching the ocean from your balcony, can be beautiful.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So there you go.
Thank you,
and
Mike.
Then you can give the same noise that you made earlier. Right.
Like the Tabernacle Choir. 621. Not really.
Glasses are breaking.
621, 75 degrees.
After weeks spent sheltering at home and with the Memorial Day weekend just days away, many Americans are looking for ways to plan a safe summer getaway like to the beach. Find out more in your GMA First Look.
Here's your secret word of the day. Enter it on KSAT.com/Circle K for a monthly chance to win free gas for a year. Every entry wins a Polar Pop. We are Circle K.
It's starting to happen every day. People are surprising themselves the moment they realize they can do more with less asthma. Thanks to Dupixent, the add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. Dupixent isn't for sudden breathing problems. It can improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks and help prevent severe asthma attacks. It's not a steroid, but can help reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Don't use if allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor right away about signs of inflamed blood vessels such as rash, shortness of breath, chest pain, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection and before stopping any asthma medicines, including oral steroids. Do more with less asthma. Talk to your doctor about Dupixent.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the future of vacations. As Memorial Day, the unofficial start of summer, approaches, many families are wondering if it's safe to go on vacation. According to an April survey by the U.S. Travel Association, only 14% of travelers feel safe taking a domestic flight, and 17% feel safe at a hotel or resort.
I think logically, people will venture gingerly out and do local things before they get on an airplane. That's just the way it's going to be. So, yeah, local people will do local things.
GMA going one-on-one with travel expert Rick Steves about the changes we're already seeing going into this Memorial Day weekend. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll talk live to the CEO of Intercontinental Hotels Group, which runs chains like Holiday Inn, on how they're adjusting to the new normal and what it could mean for your next overnight stay. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
Big changes are coming to Facebook's offices. Bloomberg reports the company will allow workers to return July 6th. However, offices will be limited to 25% capacity, and staff will reportedly undergo regular temperature checks and be required to wear face masks.
It is one of the biggest podcasting deals ever. Joe Rogan taking his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, to Spotify in a deal reportedly worth more than $100 million. Rogan's full library will be moving exclusively to Spotify. His video podcast will no longer be available on YouTube.
And an Italian woman is the new owner of a Picasso painting. The 1921 painting called Nature Morte was being raffled off in Paris to benefit water projects in Africa. Well, the painting itself is worth $1.1 million. Here's the crazy part for you. A raffle ticket only cost $109. And even more crazy, the woman who won didn't even buy the ticket. Raffle organizers say the ticket was purchased by her son. He gave it to mom as a gift.
Now that's why he's the best son in the world now.
Wowza. That's a good present.
Kind of a wonderful belated Mother's Day
Didn't
gift,
we have one last week where someone gave their mom or their relative a lottery ticket?
I remember reading something about that.
And they won like $1 million.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's cool stuff. I love it. Your time now is 6:27 and it is 75 degrees.
Local woman is celebrating her 107th birthday with some pomp and circumstance. See how her community gave her a celebration during the pandemic.
107. Checking the roadways with TransGuide. We've got Nick working hard to track all your traffic trouble spots. We'll be back.
Several blocks in a neighborhood north of downtown were left without powers for hours overnight after a tree fell down. Authorities say this could be due to the high winds. I have the full story just ahead on GMSA.
San Antonio and New Braunfels continue to have some of the largest population gains across the country. Good morning, I'm Sarah Acosta. We break down the latest 2020 census data.
And outside with live cam, Mother Nature put on a free fireworks show in the overnight hours, and down along the border, still seeing a few storms, but wait till you see the extended forecast with Mike Osterhage as we go into the long holiday weekend. Good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. It is Thursday, May 21st.
Thanks for being with us this morning. Yeah, those storms that came last night were something else, which we'll talk about in a minute. Started off pretty busy. How is it right now?
It's great right now. If you're heading to work, expect a smooth ride.
Okay, we'll expect it. Thank you very much, Nick. Hi, Mike.
How are you? Yeah, those storms were born over out in the Rio Grande Valley.
Held together.
They held together as expected and moved on through. And yeah, they really did pack quite a punch there for a while. A lot of winds, a lot of light show, some heavy downpours. Now, there's one leftover storm down here working its way through Laredo that did produce some severe weather about an hour ago, some large hail, nothing like that. And as you can see, that one is dying down as well. But you're going to get pretty well dumped on with some heavy rain there around Laredo. Elsewhere, the showers have pretty much all sort of fizzled on out. We don't have anything showing up in and around town on radar. A couple of showers if you're going down 35 south of Pearsall right now. It's still 75 degrees, 72 Bulverde. 60s hill country, and molds on the moderate side, low amounts of everything else. And throughout the rest of today, a couple of scattered showers are going to be possible, not very likely. It won't be as hot today, so it's going to be humid, but we'll be at 90 as opposed to mid to upper 90s like we've been the past couple of days. And then tomorrow, some scattered showers. As a matter of fact, tonight we're going to have to watch out for another one of those nighttime storm complexes to develop and come in from the north out of the hill country. And then we'll have a few more scattered showers and storms throughout the day, mid 80s tomorrow. And then going into the weekend, scattered rain on Saturday, better rain chances Sunday and Monday. It's not going to be a rain out, but we'll just have that little bit better chance of rain. It looks like rain chances will be sticking around through about the middle of next week. It's going to keep temperatures down, so that's one benefit from it, plus some rain. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now. So nothing really showing up on the map.
Yeah, it's looking good right now, Mike. Things are looking very good, and I hope everyone's having a good morning as well. But if you are headed to work, expect a smooth ride. Things are looking great. A lot of green on the screen, which is always good news on a Thursday morning. Take a look at these drive times. If you're on 1604 eastbound from the Helotes area to Randolph Air Force Base, it's 26 minutes, and westbound from Randolph Air Force Base to Helotes, 25 minutes. So really good times there. Taking a look outside of the TransGuide, traffic starting to go from light to moderate in some places around the city. 10 west in 1604 looks good. 10 at La Cantera looking okay. Those eastbound lanes look a little busy there. 10 at Ralph Fair, where we had that construction earlier, seems to be only in the median now. And 10 at Bernie Stage looks smooth. Well, I hope everyone has a great and safe commute to work and an even better day. Mark, Leslie, back to you.
Thank you very much, Nick. High winds could be to blame for a power outage and fire that forced one woman out of her home and left dozens of others without power this morning. It happened just north of downtown in the 400 block of Elmwood Drive. It was about 11:30 last night. That's near San Pedro and Hildebrand, not far from Thomas Edison High School. Our Alicia Barrera joins us live downtown with more. Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning, Leslie. Well, I can tell you that workers from CPS Energy remained on that scene for hours last night as that power outage, we're told, was pretty extensive. It was about a 6-block radius. And this morning I did check the CPS outage map, and things are looking pretty clear on the 400 block of Elmwood Drive. But last night things looked a lot different. Here's what we have on video for you. Authorities say that just before midnight, a tree fell down and knocked down a power line and utility pole. Authorities say high winds are to blame for the damage. But things didn't end there. One woman was almost left without a home after her property caught fire towards the back. The cause of that fire is still under investigation, but authorities say it may have to do with a power surge. Firefighters were luckily able to quickly take control and put out that fire. Again, we know that one woman lived inside. She lived alone. She was able to make it out safe. No injuries to report this morning, but her home, there are substantial damages. The estimates right now are about $20,000. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Alicia, thank you. Brand new 2020 U.S. Census data is starting to come in, and it's amazing. San Antonio, New Braunfels continue to top the list in population gains.
The Census Bureau has started to release some data from the latest 10-year report. Sarah Costa joins us live from home to break down those numbers. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. And San Antonio continues to top that list. It ranked number 3 among the top 15 cities with the largest numeric increase from April of 2010 to July of 2019. Now, the Alamo City added more than 221,000 residents in the last decade to finish 2019 with a total population of more than 1.5 million. Now, 4 other cities in Texas also made that list. It includes Houston, Austin, Fort Worth, and Dallas. Now, cities in Texas are among those that have added the most people this decade. But let's take a look at the graphics to break down that data. The most populous cities, San Antonio still sits at the 7th largest city with that population, but Phoenix is now the 5th largest city. Philadelphia was pushed down to the 6th largest city. That means San Antonio could pass Philadelphia if more people continue to live here. There's only a 37,000 difference in people. Now, the fastest growing cities, Frisco is number 1. It had a 71% increase in population. New Braunfels came in 3rd. In 4th place was McKinney. Now, looking at the numeric increase, cities is in 3rd place, Austin in 5th, Fort Worth in 6th, and Dallas in 9th. And if you head to KSAT.com right now, you can see the latest census data. That's the latest 2020 census data right now on KSAT.com. Reporting live from home, I'm Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News. Mark and Leslie.
Well, overnight, authorities investigating a shooting at an Arizona shopping mall that left 3 people hurt. Happened last night at the Westgate Entertainment Center in Glendale. 1 person is in critical condition and the other 2 have non-life-threatening injuries. Now, people in the area were encouraged to shelter in place while that scene was secured. Look at all those first responders on scene. Police have not released any other details, but they do say they have a suspect in custody. Right now, the motive is unknown.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is now advising doctors to test all newborns delivered to women with potential COVID-19 infections. The CDC says babies are most likely exposed to the virus through respiratory droplets from their moms or other caregivers. Because of the limited information about babies with coronavirus, the CDC says doctors should presume exposed newborns have been infected. Testing should be done in the first 24 hours after birth and again the next day if results come back negative.
New numbers on first-time unemployment claims are due out later this morning. Economists polled by Reuters News Service say they expect about 2.5 million more Americans filing in just the last week. The unemployment numbers have been gradually falling since a record 6.8 million people filed in a single week back in mid-March.
And several airlines are rolling out new safety measures as demand for air travel is starting to increase. JetBlue says it will continue to keep middle seats off limits. Delta is reportedly adding flights to keep less than 60% of passengers on each plane. And United introducing disinfecting sprayers at hubs in Chicago and Denver.
Well, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is responding to growing criticism after he fired a State Department watchdog who was investigating him. ABC's Alex Prechet has more.
This morning, new questions about the firing of a State Department watchdog who was investigating Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
Frankly, should have done it some time ago.
Pompeo says he requested President Trump fire Inspector General Steve Linick because he was unhappy with Linick's performance. At the time, Linick was investigating Pompeo's declaration of an emergency last May to sell arms to Saudi Arabia, bypassing Congress. ABC News has learned Pompeo declined to be interviewed by the Inspector General's office about that arms deal. Instead, he submitted written answers to questions from investigators. Linick was also investigating Pompeo's use of a staffer to run personal errands, like dog walking and picking up dry cleaning.
Someone was walking my dog to sell arms to my dry cleaner. I mean, it's all just crazy.
On Wednesday, Pompeo again denied Linick's firing was retaliation, at first saying he was unaware of the investigations.
I didn't have access to that information, so I couldn't possibly have retaliated.
But moments later, Pompeo confirmed he was aware of one particular investigation and submitted answers in writing for it. He didn't elaborate.
There's one exception. I was asked a series of questions in writing. I responded to those questions with respect to a particular investigation. I don't know the scope. I don't know the nature of that investigation other than what I would have seen from the nature of the questions that I was presented.
Linick is the 4th Inspector General to be fired by President Trump in the last 6 weeks. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer now accusing the administration of being a dictatorship.
Every other president has listened to attorneys general, has listened to inspectors general when they told the truth and tried to correct things. This president fires them.
The State Department is also responding to a report by NBC that Pompeo was holding taxpayer-funded dinner parties with guests from the corporate world and the entertainment industry. A spokesperson has responded saying those dinners are opportunities to discuss foreign policy matters. Alex Prechet, ABC News, Washington.
Time check, 6:40, 75 degrees.
After the break, a notice for parents. We're going to see why preschoolers eat when they sit down to watch television.
Snacking while you watch your favorite show may seem harmless, but studies show kids who eat in front of the tube are more likely to consume unhealthy food. Now, social scientists are examining patterns related to children's snacking behaviors while watching TV. Out of the 47 low-income parents interviewed for the study, all of the parents reported that they routinely let their preschool-aged kids eat mostly unhealthy snacks while watching TV. Some said their children didn't like to eat snacks unless they were watching TV. Experts say designate a snacking zone, like the kitchen, and encourage snack reviewing while watching TV. Limit snacks throughout the day, and do not snack within 2 hours of mealtime. Snacks should be healthy foods, such as fruits, veggies, yogurt, or whole grain products.
Parents in this study are reporting that their kids expect a snack with TV. Now, these parents also believe it helps promote social interaction and more food intake. Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
A San Antonio woman turned 107. The community turned out to celebrate in a huge way.
The family and friends of Gertha Murphy didn't let social distancing get in the way of letting their birthday girl know she's loved.
Sarah Costa joins us live once again from home with more on how they celebrated. Do tell, Sarah.
Yeah, tell us.
Good morning. I absolutely love this story because I happened to be driving by and found it. So that makes me super happy. But Miss Murphy had a massive parade to celebrate her 107th birthday party with more than 100 cars passing by, driving through by her house on the northeast side to wish her happy birthday. She turned 107 years old on Thursday, and her family, friends, and members of her sorority Alpha Kappa Alpha threw her a celebration and didn't let social distancing get in the way. The San Antonio Fire Department, Police Department, and Bexar County Sheriff's Office even drove by to show their love. Her cousin Tanya Anderson says Gertha is still very cognitive and she absolutely loved the parade.
She is very cognitive, very with it. She just stopped driving last year and she was just very excited. She knows exactly what's going on. As you can see, she's waving like Miss America and enjoying it all.
I love all of you from the depths of my heart.
With COVID being such a time when family is not able to celebrate, we just thought that it would be an awesome opportunity to celebrate a wonderful woman in the community. And Gertha Murphy is just that, at 107 years old.
The family says Miss Murphy is the oldest alumna of St. Philip's College, graduating in 1936, where she was a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. She has 3 children, and they said they couldn't even count the number of grandchildren they have. They know that she has at least more than a dozen. So happy birthday, Miss Murphy. At 107, they said that they want to celebrate 108 in an even bigger way. Reporting live from home, I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News. Mark and Leslie.
Sarah, I love that you drove by and found that story. That is such a feel-good story.
Yeah, she lives in my neighborhood, and I was just like, why is my driveway blocked? And I was like, oh, there's something big happening.
There's more to the story. All right, we love it. Thank you, Sarah Costa, live from home with the wonderful story this morning.
That was terrific. Yeah. Let's find out if traffic's terrific this morning. Nick?
Yeah, we have one major accident, though. That's going to be eastbound Highway 90 in between General McMullen and Couples. This is a one-vehicle accident where the vehicle struck a puddle, hydroplaned, and rolled over onto the access road right there just before Couples Road. So keep that in mind. This is going to cause some major delays. TransGuide cameras are down. We don't have video of this accident, but it is there. It's fairly new, so expect a delay if you are going 90 eastbound towards 35. This one just came out. All right, let's take a look outside. 35 and 37 looking good. 10 in Medical looking great. 281 in Hildebrand looking good. So a lot of places around the city looking smooth right now. Light to moderate traffic. 151 and 410 and 90 in Lackland looking great.
Thanks, Nick. Mike's here with more on a 7-day forecast that's got rain all over the place.
I know. For some people heading to the coast, they might be a little bit weather to deal with.
Right. It won't be raining constantly, and if you are planning on heading out this weekend, I think you'll have good opportunities to spend a lot of time outside, but just be prepared for it.
Looks like you took a trip to Kevin Costner's farm in the Field of Dreams in this picture.
Well, if you build it.
They will come.
You know, what I was thinking about is we've been showing so many beautiful flowers here, and these are some very beautiful plants as well. And we've had a decent amount of rain lately to help out all the crops in the fields, and there's more rain Yeah, that looks fantastic. There's more rain definitely on the way. Just a very hazy start out there. A lot of clouds and haze right there along the horizon. We had those thunderstorms that were born out in the west yesterday, late yesterday, and in the overnight hours. And the only thing left over right now, that pretty good cell that's moving right through Laredo right now. That thing is just dumping a bunch of rain. It did produce some large hail, prompting a severe thunderstorm warning earlier, and no advisories in place. But if you're out heading down 35, just watch down there, especially around Cotulla and right around Laredo, getting some of those very heavy downpours in that light show. Elsewhere, a lot of the storms from earlier this morning, a lot of the rain has just sort of fizzled on out. 73 Bulverde, 68 Rio Medina, Hondo, Helotes, Bernie, and here going back in time, and there's those storms out there around Del Rio, along the Rio Grande, and again, they held together overnight, moved on in here. Watch this circulation right there. Just these formed their own little weather systems, if you will. And another one was born off in the mountains of Mexico, and that's the one that's been moving through Laredo and Webb County this morning. Now, we have that chance for more of the same tomorrow morning and in the overnight hours. There's the chance for some strong to potentially severe storms out in western portions of the hill country late tonight. And it's what computer models are indicating. Everything continues to sort of fizzle out this morning. We'll have a few more showers developing later on today. But tonight we look up to the north, and that's where a couple of models are in agreement that another one of these nighttime complexes is going to be brewing, working its way on through here during the morning hours tomorrow. And then we'll still have some leftover disturbances sliding throughout the day. So we may be dealing with a few more showers, thunderstorms around here throughout the day tomorrow, and then also going into the weekend. Now, it won't be a washout this weekend, but we will have rain here and there on Saturday as well as going into Sunday. I think maybe some better rain chances later on in the day on Sunday as well as on Monday. Again, not a washout, but just be prepared for some of that rain if you're planning some outdoor activities this weekend. 83 degrees today at noon. Couple of showers maybe popping up around the area. Shower thunderstorm this afternoon. Rain chances aren't that great, but then tonight we'll have to watch out for that storm complex moving south from the hill country. And then tomorrow, 87 degrees. 85 on Saturday, scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms around, and Sunday, Monday, probably the better chances of rain. Yeah, just to emphasize, it won't be a washout. Just be ready for some rain.
But if we keep the clouds and the showers around, that'll help keep temperatures in check too, right?
Yeah, all week long. I mean, you know, we're down in the low 80s throughout most of next week.
That sounds nice.
Not too shabby, huh?
I like it. I like it.
6:51, 75 degrees.
Many women may unwind with a drink every now and again. Join us tomorrow on GMSA, where we see how more and more women are drinking too much.
And let's go outside with live cam. News you need to know before you go is coming up right here on Good Morning San Antonio. It's 5 till.
And it's time to check the roadways once again. Nick, what's happening?
One vehicle accident that was on between General McMullen and Couples. It looks like this vehicle hydroplaned off a puddle and rolled over there on the access road. This one is going to cause some traffic buildup. Keep that in mind if you are heading that way, and please be careful on the roadways. There's still some slick spots there.
There's a little bit of sun trying to peek through. There's one little pink-orange dot right there, but otherwise just a lot of hazy clouds and still some showers down to the west and southwest. If you're going down 35, you're going to run into some of that rain, some heavy downpours around Laredo as of right now. 75 degrees, been holding steady, 77 in Pleasanton and Floresville at 78. Plenty of humidity, 83 at noon, 90 high temperature today. A couple of scattered showers, thunderstorms or two. We'll have to watch out for another nighttime storm complex to come in overnight tonight, and then some rain over the weekend.
That it?
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
As always, thanks for being with us.
GMA is next. See you at 9.